Welcome back. We now turn to Fulton County, Georgia, where the mugshots of prominent figures accused of challenging the 2020 election results have been released. Because nothing screams democracy more than criminalizing the establishment's main opponents and his allies, right? Most defendants have negotiated bond agreements with prosecutors ranging from $10,000 to $200,000, as reported by Forbes. Joining us now, founder of Weber's Way and podcaster, Jess Weber. Thanks for being back with us, Jess. It's great to have you. Isn't it incredible to see the mugshots of all the political opposition? How long until we get our pictures up there, Jess?
That's the thing I'm a little afraid of, because if they take down Trump, who's next? Because if you support a guy that's a criminal, because they're going to say, oh, you support a criminal, that's it, lock him up. It's coming close, Allison. And that's why everybody is really strong trying to defend Trump. It's really unfortunate that they're going to try to get the mugshot. Obviously, this whole thing is a big circus. It's a big distraction. Obviously, a distraction from the Biden disastrous presidency that he calls. It's just awful. And you know, this is all over because he didn't believe that the election was fair. You know, Hillary Clinton did the same thing. Stacey Abrams did the same thing. No one's prosecuting them. How come they didn't get a mugshot?
It really is incredible to see it all playing out and just completely unfair. I think Rudy Giuliani really summed it up nicely. CNN actually caught him as he was leaving the courthouse, and he stated he's going through this charade to defend the rights of Americans. He also said, whether you like Trump or not, it's important to be warned that when the political winds shift, they're going to come for you too. And let us pray that Republicans are more honest and trustworthy than the people in charge of this government. Jess, here's my question. Do you think Republicans are actually more honest and trustworthy?
Oh man. Are you talking about the ones that are in office right now, the Congress? You think they're trustworthy? I don't trust anyone, Allison, honestly. I mean, everyone's backstabbing everybody. If Trump's going to jail, they're like, "Well, I never worked with him. I don't know." What are you talking about? Because any association with Trump, you know, it seems like you're going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
I don't trust anyone, Allison. I really don't. But
you know, many of these GOP leaders, right, have had so many opportunities to stand up and resist this, and I feel like there's just been a weak leadership all around, and it's just so sad to see. All of Trump's lawyers were indicted, which is just completely unprecedented as well. I mean, how do you see this playing out moving forward? Is this a losing battle, or are you hopeful that truth will ultimately prevail, and how will this impact the upcoming 2024 presidential election?
Well, there's two things on this. First off, I don't know if you remember the OJ trials. That was a big show, and everybody was involved, and everyone was sucked to the TV about that. So maybe that's what's going to happen with this trial. Everyone's going to be just watching it, and you know, no one's going to know what's going on around the world. We're just going to focus on the Trump trial. But it also could expose a lot of things. I mean, Trump, maybe he has an opportunity to finally showcase the evidence of how they cheated. Maybe this is his whole campaign. You know, maybe this is how he's going to campaign to win the election, is by going to court and just keep proving them all wrong over and over again. Yeah, I think that's the only way it's going to happen. Other than that, I'm trying to think of any other theories how this would react. But I'll tell you one thing: it's definitely it's meddling with his election, and if they do get something to stick, which they're trying to do, could it disqualify him? You know, who knows? I'm sure they're coming out with laws right now. I'm sure they're in the background right now writing something down to say, oh, if Trump is guilty for littering, he cannot run for office. So there we go. We'll slip that in another state, in another indictment.
Yeah, that's a great point. Who knows what they are, what they have brewing behind the scenes, so to speak. I guess only time will really tell, but it'll certainly be interesting to see how it all unfolds. Jess, I'm sure you watched at least some of the clips from the Trump-Tucker interview last night. Obviously, the numbers put the Fox debate to shame. But what do you make of the current situation? Any takeaways or thoughts from what we saw last night?
The Tucker and Trump, you know, I just thought it was interesting, though, the interesting questions that Tucker did ask Trump, and, you know, certain things like Epstein and stuff like that. You know, it's clear as day that, you know, that's what everybody wants to see. Everybody wants to see Trump. You know, listen, Biden did not get 81 million votes, okay? Trump got over that. And it shows right here, you know. I mean, they got over 90 million views right now,
Yeah.
and counting. I guess Trump says 293, but well, I don't know where else he's counting, but I'm sure those numbers are true. But I'm just saying, there was a good conversation. I think it was more interesting than the debate than last night. The debate last night was actually just really boring. I mean, I don't know. The people love Ron. I don't know why he backstabbed Trump. You know, you got the other Indian guy. I don't know. He's a billionaire. You know what? Don't get me wrong. I like the Indian guy. Don't get me wrong about that. I like him, but it's not. He's not ready. He's not ready. He's 38 years old. Come on. Maybe a VP. Maybe a little. Maybe he could be the. I don't know, the water boy at the White House. I don't know. But some of them, and then Pence, like he disgusts me at the debate too. You know, it's just
Seriously, why
he's
even bother?
disgusting.
He is
Well, you know,
disgusting.
he loves his little slogans. He's like, "Oh, and here we go, and we will fight for the country." You know, it's like over and over again. It was really weird, and he just kept talking over and over the two news people, and it was just really bizarre. And what he did to Trump, and also Trump pointed out about the whole, you know, the election, you know, signing off on the election. Pence could have, you know, sent it back and said, no, we need to check it, but
Mhm.
he didn't. And then they pass a law, and Trump said that I was right. So what, you know, why didn't he do it? I don't like Pence whatsoever. Um, Good luck. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yes, it certainly is interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see who becomes the VP. I think we know where America stands, and we're all pretty solidly behind Trump at this point, I think, so to speak, for everyone. I will say I was a little disappointed Tucker rather, didn't ask some COVID-related questions to Trump. I would have been curious to hear his response on how to handle future lockdowns, vaccines, etc. But that's just me. It's just ultimately so hard for me to think that elections, especially elections as prominent as the presidential election, are actually, even a real thing. Because it seems to me they're more of a selection than anything else. I mean, do these debates and all this hype and talk really even matter after what we saw unfold in 2020?
No, it's all a show. It's all to make it look like it's fair. You
Yeah.
know, it's like, oh, we're gonna have a debate, we're gonna have campaigns, and everyone's gonna raise money, and it just makes it look like a real thing. Pretty much all those people on stage are either auditioning for Trump or just trying to make some money.
Yeah,
Now, the other side, you got the Democrats. You know, Biden, he's not going to debate at all.
of
You know,
course.
I mean, they've already selected him. He's the guy. So we'll see what happens with that disastrous guy if he makes it to 2024.
That's the
I'm
key
sure.
right there. Well, I hate to
Sure.
say it, Jess, but I just think any future election is about as real as the recent moon landing in India. Let's pull that up on the screen here. I don't know, Jess, was this real? What are your thoughts?
Let me see it.
जी हाँ, अब हम फाइन ब्रेकिंग वेव के एकदम करीब आ चुके हैं। हाँ, आप तालियों के गड़गड़ाहट से सुन सकते हैं।
Are you kidding
Come
me?
on. That's the most famous thing I've ever seen.
Come on, man. This is a
Wow.
joke. We're all being played, I think it's safe to say.
I think it is. I think one thing, think about this. India is in play. Everyone's talking about China, Russia, and all these other countries, but India is in play. And you think about
Mm.
the guy that was at the GOP, the Indian guy, he's there. Something's going
Ooh,
on with
he's
India.
behind the moon landing.
Something is going on with India. They're always somewhere in the United States
All
trying to get
right,
attention.
Jess, thank you for weighing in and thank you for your insight. It's always great having you. We're out of time for today, but we'll see you again next week.
All right. Thank you, Allison.
Take care.